Alright, this is lesson 7-5, Angles and Polygons, and we're going to be using this formula for a lot of the practice problems today. N minus 2 equals, or excuse me, N minus 2 times 180 degrees. Before we get into that though, on page 324, you may want to take some notes on the names of the different polygons, as that will be important as we can continue forward with this lesson. Now, the formula that you see is how we can find the sum of all of the interior angles of a shape. So if I'm looking at this shape right here, I can count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. We would call it a pentagon. And it may not look like a normal pentagon that you're used to, but I know that whenever I add up all of the interior angles, so this 90-degree angle, this 75-degree angle, this 130-degree angle, anyways, when I add them all up, there's a total, or the sum of those angle measures for all pentagons are the same. And I can figure out what that total number is by using this formula. So I plug in the number of sides, I subtract 2, and then I multiply by 180. So in this case, n represents the number of sides of my shape. So for that pentagon, what I would do is I would plug in 5 for 2. So I do 5 minus 2, which would be 3. 3 times 180 to give me, let's see, it should be 540 degrees. And that's true for, again, any pentagon that you run into. So let's say if they give me a shape, let's say they're, for the first example or for the first practice problem, they wanted us to figure out how many, or what's the sum of the interior angles for a 9-sided figure, or a nonagon. So what I would do is I'd use this formula here. I would do n minus 2 equals 180, or times 180. So I would plug in 9, and so I do 9 minus 2 times 180. So 9 minus 2 is 7, times 180 degrees equals 1,260. So what that tells me is that I've got 1,260 degrees inside of all of my 9-sided figures. Now, this formula is especially helpful not only if they want me to know the grand total, but if I'm missing a measure inside of a shape. Let's go back to this that I showed you earlier. Inside this shape, I've got 5 different degrees marked, but I don't know one of them. I don't know my x. If I know what the total is, and if I know the other 4, then I can find my missing measure. This is similar to what we would solve with the Pythagorean theorem.